Bum, bum, bum. Good morning, Curtis.
Good morning, Tellman. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Good morning. Get shit done. What's up, everybody? So welcome. Curtis and I just had a little. Um, hold on. Oh man, are you serious?
The
Oh,
cat,
this cat.
cat's in effect.
Man, I'm cat sitting, and I just showed up here, and this cat is a little bit lonely, and it's just like jumping on the table and just knocked over my laptop. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's time to get shit done.
Nice.
Um, so positive focus,
Yep.
positive focus. I'll kick it off today. I went out last night to see my buddy Addison Rice.
Yep.
He had a
I know
show
him.
for
Yeah, I
his
know him.
band, Fool in the World. They had a CD release party. It was really fun.
Cool.
Had a great time. It was cool. And earlier in the day, went to a big, giant surprise 60th birthday party that
Oh,
was extremely well attended. So yeah, had a very social day yesterday. I'm kind of socialed out, but it was super fun. It was a good day yesterday.
cool.
How about you, Curtis?
Yesterday we went to go visit family that was 3 hours away. So that was a fun drive out there. We made it in time just as they're serving lunch. So it was good. So we brought some food, but it was took a little while to warm up. So people didn't really eat as much of ours as everybody else's, which
Yeah,
is fine. It was good to see some of the kids and the other adults that are part of the family. We only see them about once a year now because just the way things are with everybody, they're busy and everybody's all over the place. So we meet at a central location. One of the other family members have a cottage in
yeah,
Chatham, Ontario here, and we all go there, and it was like super nice. And they use it as an Airbnb as well throughout the season. So
yeah.
they always have someone stay there when they had this weekend. So it was awesome.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
it's good times.
Rock and roll. So the topic of today's episode is about our business and our customers
Hmm.
and passion and do we create something we love or do we create something they love, right? So
Yep,
that's what we're going
yep.
to be
Customers.
exploring. But where did this come from, Curtis? Where did this question come from for you?
For me, it just came from like a lot of times, you're working on something and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And it's like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Is it just for me? Is it for somebody else? Am I actually helping people? Or am I just trying to figure out something for myself? And that's where that came from earlier because sometimes things are not moving as fast as you expect them to. And then you got to question, hey, is this the right thing? Is it a market that works for me? Is there enough people out there that are interested in it?
Yeah,
The hardworking parent stuff. So that's why a question came up because during the last few weeks we've talked about different things, and then this one came up because I was thinking like I put stuff out there and people look at it, but it's not really engaging enough to get people. Hey, Curtis, how can you help me, or how can you do this, or I want to sign up for your course or get your blueprint or whatever. So let's explore that sort of realm of customers knowing what they want, and maybe the market I'm in is not popular enough. Maybe I need to switch to something else. You know?
yeah. There are a lot of factors in
Yeah,
this,
for sure.
and well, let's talk about it, right? So,
Yep.
so you're so. What was the exact situation? Were you when like? How did you come to feel
This
this way?
question?
Right. Like, let's get specific.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
So
what were you
yes,
working on, or what happened that triggered like the self doubt around this? And it may be very justified self doubt. I'm not saying it right. So it's just a,
right.
but what happened that caused you to kind of
Well, you know how you develop a course and stuff, and then no one does anything about it, or you try to promote it, and there's like
totally?
crickets, right? So
Yeah,
I did
I'm
a
familiar with
couple
the crickets.
modules, and then I just like put it out there a little bit. If I didn't do any ads or anything, I just think, hey, let's see if people are interested, and nothing happened. Right? No one signed up, no one did anything. So that was like, And then you hear about other people, hey, I did this course and it didn't work out, but then there's some other thing they tried that some customers say, hey, I would rather you do this, and they did it, and then more people got attached to it. So that was one of the things I saw another video thing earlier this week that sort of like, hey, maybe I need to switch something up or adjust something that I'm doing that maybe will help more parents be like tuned into what I'm doing rather than maybe someone else's, or get more people interested in what I'm doing so that I can say, hey, what's your problem? How can I help you? And then maybe help one person, or and maybe other parents might have the same issues that this other parent has, and therefore it can expand the business to be a little bit bigger, right?
Right. So let's
Because
let's
I
get
don't,
specific,
yeah, because I'm
right?
not having any traction with what I'm currently doing, it seems. So is there some like little tweak or some other aspect? Because you remember some other aspect I can help people with, or get more recognition of what I'm doing, perhaps.
Well, let's just examine it.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Currently, I do podcasts every week, and I've repurposed them through shorts. Some of them are more popular than others. Some of the subjects I cover, like sometimes you only get like 20 people, and sometimes you get like 200 to 300 people looking at it, right? But no one ever engages enough to say, "Hey, I'm interested. What else you got?" type of thing. So that's where I'm kind of like, is this enough of what I'm doing, or am I missing something within my messaging,
Okay.
or am I not giving enough call to actions or stuff, that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Recently,
Yep,
I've been listening to both of Alex Hermosi's books.
yep.
I never
The
read
leads
them
and
when they came out.
yeah,
I didn't jump on the bandwagon when $100 million leads and $100 million offers came out.
yeah.
However, they're both great, great.
Hmm.
I would recommend that you start with the leads.
Okay. I think
You
I
can
might I probably have downloaded it
you
before on
can
my
listen to them
audiobook.
both on Audible
Yep.
also.
That's where I usually
Um,
get my stuff from. Yeah.
and one of the reasons that I'm suggesting you in particular do this, Curtis, is because he's a exercise fanatic. You know,
Yep.
he owns
Gym,
gyms.
ex-gym owner. Yeah.
Like he works out, and that's a big part of his persona.
Hmm.
And he treats marketing efforts like workouts.
Nice.
And I feel like that might be helpful for you.
Relatable type person, right?
But it's kind of like, are you reaching out to at least 100 people a day and making their offer of what you're trying to sell to them?
Not even
Okay.
close.
Well, there's your problem.
Yep.
Is so the first problem is you don't have enough traffic. You don't have enough because you're not engaging with people. It's your job to engage first.
Yep.
And doing a podcast is cool, but it's a passive engagement tool because
Right.
nobody's really going to find your podcast in the short term. It's all long term,
Right.
right? And I'm sure there's 1,000 different things that you could do way better
Yep.
with both your content production and distribution of your podcast. I'm sure there's 1,000 things I can be doing way better,
Right. Right.
right? Like Get Shit Done is still very small, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so I was talking this through with a client
Yep.
yesterday,
Okay.
and so I'd like you to imagine that you decided this isn't like wouldn't be that weird for you to do, I guess, but
Okay.
um, I'd like you to imagine. How old are you?
44 now.
Yeah, cool. So imagine that you decide that you're going to get into bodybuilding
Yep.
and that you're going to compete. And so if you decide you were going to get into bodybuilding and that you were going to compete and that you were going to try to win some competition,
Hmm.
given your age and given the fact that I know you've worked out a bunch, but I don't
Yep.
think you've ever been into bodybuilding specifically.
No.
So how long do you think it would take you to get to the point where you could win in some contests in bodybuilding in your age division?
With just by myself and just reading books and stuff.
No, no,
You mean?
no. No. I'm not limiting you. I'm just saying how long. I mean, legally. Let's
Oh,
say no steroids or whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
Okay.
how
Probably.
long would it take for
Probably
you
at
to be?
least 10 years, maybe. I don't know. I don't really think that's something I really thought of. But yeah, at least
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
take some time.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so 5 years, cool. And if you were to get serious about bodybuilding and you were like, I'm gonna win first place, like I'm gonna get jacked and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super strong and I'm gonna look good and I'm gonna win these competitions. I'm not saying like best in the world, okay, but I'm just like you go and like
Maybe like something local or something
yeah, it's
even.
like if you decide that you're going to start running marathons and you decide you're going to start winning them, like
Yep.
okay, it's going to take a few years, of like and you may never win.
Yep.
You may still never win, but even moving in that direction,
Yep.
it's like a long-term commitment, right? So, how many hours a week do you think you'd need to put in order to win, and be on that trajectory of winning at bodybuilding competitions in several years or
At
more?
least 4 hours, I would imagine. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. You gotta do double workouts to
Oh,
get
you're
that
saying a
level.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
per
I said
day.
a week, but you're
Oh,
saying
well,
a day.
a day because I know guys that do it, and that's what they do. They spend
Yeah,
like 2
4 hours a
hours.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they take lots of supplements. They do eat a lot of
yeah,
food. So everything
yeah.
like obviously costs more money than your food bill will go up because
Right,
you got to get that gains right to get up
right,
there. Yeah.
right. But you also have to be working out enough to make it useful, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I like your answers, Curtis. So that's the game you're playing
Mm-hmm.
as an entrepreneur and a business owner
Okay.
is you need to have the same attitude. You need to win the
Okay.
bodybuilding competition in 5 years. That's what you're doing. Are you
Okay.
spending 4 hours a day training? No, not even close. Are
Maybe
you
an
spending
hour.
that level of focus and intensity on growing the business?
No.
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 That's why. That's really the reason. That's really what's holding you back. Okay. And I'm not saying that I know that you're a family man. I know that you have a partner, you have kids, and you work full time. I'm
Yep.
not saying you have 4 hours a day right now to do it, but like you've got to train that way in terms of improving your skills and moving forward and actually doing the things that make the money.
Yeah.
Okay. So um, I've had such an awesome. So this is so interesting.
Yep.
I for you know, I mean, I've been a hypnotist for 25 years as
Mm-hmm.
of this year.
Yep.
For for 15 years, I've been primarily selling hypnosis stuff online
Yep.
and some marketing stuff. For almost 10 years, I did the marketing guru thing before that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And um, so for 20 years plus, since 2003, really,
Oh, wow.
I've made almost all my money online,
Yep.
staring into a computer screen, coming up with weird ideas, trying to sell them, whatever, right?
Yep.
And um, recently, I decided I was going to open up a local hypnosis office. And so when I go out and I go to the farmer's market or I go to a birthday party or I go to a whatever, people
Yep.
are like, "What's up? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm opening a new hypnosis office." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, could you hypnotize me for blank?" It's like
Yep.
wherever I go, as long as I tell people that I'm opening up a new hypnosis office, I've been greeted with enormous enthusiasm. And people are immediately curious and they want to know if I can help them.
Yep.
That is not what happens with my email list. And
No.
it's not what happens on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Not most of the time.
Yeah. Pretty
Sometimes it
rare.
happens. But when it's happening in person, there's so much more trust.
Yep.
And so, what I think about Curtis
Mm-hmm.
is start a local support group for parents. And earlier you mentioned, how do I interact with parents and actually find out what they need help with, and then
Yep.
help them with it,
Yep.
right?
That could
Well,
be it.
the
Yeah.
fastest way to do that is to hang out with more parents
Right.
who are looking for help, and maybe you can help them, and maybe you can't,
Mm-hmm.
but at least you can find out what they need help with. And so, if you were to do something like a weekly support group for parents, you know, meet at the library, meet at the, you know, I'm, I know, like at least in our town, there's a whole bunch of free spaces if you ask a
Yeah,
few
like a
ways,
Starbucks or something.
you
Yeah.
know. Well, or even non-public spaces that are like some of the banks have meeting rooms that they'll
Oh yeah.
let you meet in for free. Libraries, churches. Um, if you ask around, call the Chamber of Commerce and ask if there's any place where you can create a support group and meet for low cost or free. And start a support group for parents, dude.
Hmm.
And ask every single person that shows up what they're
Yeah.
struggling with and what they need help with. And it's not on you to solve the problem.
Right.
It's on you to bring the parents together and encourage them to help each other.
Okay.
You help if you can, but it's not like you're shouldering all the help. You're creating the container, right?
Right.
And so I would suggest that if you're having a hard time hitting this online, you're not alone.
Yep.
Most offers don't work. Okay. Most sales letters don't convert.
Right.
Most emails don't get opened. Like most upsells don't convert. Most headlines don't work. Like most of it doesn't work.
Yep.
Sometimes you make a connection and it works,
Right.
but you're gonna see that so much faster in
With
human to human
yep
interactions
contact.
than you
Yeah.
are just by like talking to people, one or two people a week, by slowly building your podcast or trying to interact with people in social when it's not really resonating,
Right. Right.
right?
Hmm.
So number one, if you're having a hard time figuring out how you can help, bring the people together and help them. um, School's about to let out, and you can
Yep.
go
Summer
to,
holidays. Yep.
you could go to all the schools and be like, hey, school's letting out. I'm starting a support group for parents. Please let your parents know. I'm sure they're all going to be stressed and running around like crazy this summer, but if any of them need to connect and need some help,
Yep.
that's cool. And we got free babysitting or
Yep.
something,
Some
during
some
the group.
offer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but like, if you did that for a few months, like 6 months, you would learn so much,
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
so much. Um, so that's one. That's one thing. Um, with your, you told me what you were doing, and you
Hmm.
said you're doing the podcast,
Yep.
right? You're repurposing some of that stuff, but ultimately, not enough people are joining your list. Not
Yep.
enough people are clicking on your emails. Not enough people are interested in what you're selling. So you created a course, right?
Yep. Yeah,
And
just like a two modules as I put it together just to try it out.
and the course is called.
It's the parent survival guide or survival kit.
Great. And what is it going to help me? What's the primary selling point of it?
It would be to what you call it, how to use your time, like how to like calculate what time you have left over, so you can focus on building an online business, and then how to use like meditation techniques for in the morning and afternoon to reset yourself and set yourself up for the day, so you're more focused on what you're doing. So it's like a meditation type process.
Okay, so this is where things start breaking down.
Yep.
Is I'm trying to get clearer answers from you with my questions, but as my questions get more detailed, you're getting more dispersed.
Okay.
So what I mean is, what is the course going to help me with?
Right.
And if it's a course that's going to help parents start an online business, great, that's the focus. Now there are a million different ways you can do that, and
Yep.
the meditation stuff might be related to that, and that's cool.
Yep.
But really, at the end of the day, what's going to do. And so I think you might be. I think, dude, you're breaking down with the online business thing.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to turn it into affiliate marketing again. Don't do that.
Okay.
Like focus on helping parents do something that they're struggling with.
Right.
What's the thing? Like, you know,
Time time restraints, and then time, like how to use our time more effectively.
right? Yeah. So you had mentioned time
Yep.
before when we looked at the letter and things. Great. That's better.
Yep.
So time management for busy parents,
Yeah, exactly.
right? That should be the name of the course.
Okay.
See?
Yep.
Time management for busy parents, not the parent survival guide. It sounds like something the kids need.
Yeah, maybe.
How to survive your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, if no, I'm not saying parent survival guide's a bad name, but it's not clear,
Okay. It's kind of
right?
general. Yeah.
There's no clarity on what it is or what it's going to help me to do. Really,
Right.
it's just kind of catchy. So parents definitely have time management challenges. Are they willing to pay for it? I would expect so, but I don't know. But your messaging needs to be more clear. So if the course is called Time Management for Busy Parents, and if you're going to do a webinar,
Yep.
then the webinar is going to be like 10 astonishing ways uh, to save 10 hours a week for busy parents or
Yeah.
something, or you know um, apply the 7-step system, 7-step time management system in your family to regain 1 hour a day of free time that you can actually spend on yourself, or
Yep.
something. But it's about time
Something.
management for parents, and so a
Yep.
webinar would be about time management for parents. The the newsletter would be time management for parents, etc. Like that would be the focus. But if you're not putting out posts about time management and people aren't responding to them, then you shouldn't create a course about time management.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, I mean, theoretically, you're a member in like the top 50 Facebook groups for parenting, one
Yep.
would hope,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
like, are you, you know, um, I would guess right now the answer is no, but like, are you the top contributing member in the top 10 parenting Facebook groups?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
like, like they get like your like the first few posts you put up there, new member type thing. They do. I got that.
yeah. If you see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is if you were the top contributing member in the top 10 Facebook groups about parenting, we wouldn't be having this conversation because you'd already know exactly what they're struggling with and how you can offer help because you would have created posts in video or written form
Hmm.
that would have resonated and gotten hundreds of comments or whatever. You see
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yep.
And so use the groups to find the topics that people are looking for help with. Also, I mean, you can go in. Okay, so here's an example.
Okay.
Okay, so there's an awesome internet marketing group that I'm sure you're aware of, run by Alan Sultan. It's called Nothing Held Back,
Yep.
and Alan, brilliant marketer, very cool guy, doing great work. He has the Nothing Held Back job board. It's a separate group. It's a Facebook
Okay.
group,
Yep.
and the Nothing Held Back job board is a little tricky because it's a whole bunch of people who are like desperate for money, desperate for a job, desperate to make money. And then occasionally there's someone in there who's looking for a copywriter, who's
Hmm.
looking for a chief marketing officer,
Yep.
who's looking for a video producer, who's looking for someone to write their VSL or to become a full time go high level expert in there
Yep.
or whatever. When right now AI is killing jobs for copywriters.
Yep.
As you can imagine, it's way cheaper and way faster to get AI to write you a sales letter or an email than
Hmm.
it is going to be for you to hire a copywriter to do the
Absolutely.
same
Yep.
thing. So many of my closest friends in the marketing world who've made their money as copywriters have completely changed careers at this point,
Oh,
right?
wow.
because copywriters are no longer nearly, in general, as valuable um, as they used to be.
Right.
So if you go into the Nothing Held Back job board and you're like, you make a post, an organic post,
Yep.
and it says, um, it says Korean copywriter seeks first client.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll write. English is my third language, and I'll write you. You know, 10 amazing emails for $500 a piece. For $5,000, I'll write you 10 emails or whatever. Um, I guess whatever. That would be $2,500. Point is, it's going to be crickets. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
going to respond because nobody wants to hire a copywriter to write a bunch of emails for them right now because they'd much rather have the emails in 10 minutes and give the same job to ChatGPT, and they're going to have to
Right.
do the editing for themselves anyway,
Yep.
right? Versus if I go in and say, I'm looking for a new copy chief. I want an experienced copywriter who knows what they're doing, knows how to run a team, knows how to train people, and can organize and run a team of copywriters. One in the sales letter department, one in the ads department, one in the email department.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for an experienced copywriter who's not only an excellent copy chief, but also a really good manager and team leader,
Yep.
right? Um, a bunch of people are going to jump on that, and that post is going to have tons of comments
Yeah.
because that group is filled with people looking for jobs and has a small number of people who are looking to hire.
Right.
Okay, so you can go in and look at the posts that people are responding to and the ones that they aren't, and you can decide how you're going to create a post that fits where you're going with what you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to do
Yep.
and what people are responding to in group X, Y, or Z.
Right.
And so I would really recommend you spend a lot more time doing that, dude.
In the groups. Okay.
Get in the group, and I mean, this is true of school groups also, but there aren't tons of parenting school groups,
Yep.
obviously, or any other platform where there are groups like WAP, whatever.
Yep.
Um, Look in the be part of the group and go in there and be the top contributing member
Okay.
by creating great content and connecting with people.
Right.
Okay, but
Yeah, that's probably
that's
keeping
the
it. Yeah.
key: is creating really good content and connecting with people, and you will find out what they need, what they want, and how they're asking for help with it.
Yep.
Right? Like maybe it's meal prep.
Right.
Maybe these busy parents desperately need help with simple, nutritious,
Mm-hmm.
healthy um,
Meals to prepare or have
meal
done.
prep that
Yep.
their kids will actually eat without complaining.
Right.
Or maybe they need help with arguing, household arguing.
Yep.
Maybe household arguing is killing it for everybody and causing enormous stress. Or yeah, maybe they need a legit part-time side hustle. I mean, but whatever. But don't force the thing that you want. Just really focus in
Yep.
on discovering what they're looking for help with. And if
Okay.
you create social posts about those topics, they will work better. If you create videos or podcast episodes about those topics, they will work better. If you create products about those topics, they will, more people will want
Right.
to buy them. And
Right.
so um, that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Sounds good. I like it. I wrote it
Okay.
down, so
Yeah.
I'll work on that. You're saying the Facebook group is a key point where you can find more like the problems that people are having, and then try to create the solutions for them. Hopefully, it works by posting in those groups that, hey, you had a problem with time management. I've done this,
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever.
focus first on going in and becoming a top contributing
Yep.
member by responding to every post and commenting and asking intelligent questions and really looking for the patterns.
Okay.
Look for what people are responding to before you before you even offer anything.
Oh, okay. So
Like
yeah. Okay.
look where the energy is. Look where the momentum already is.
Okay.
Right. But that's the same reason to start like a local group
Yep.
because you're going to get that information 1,000 times faster.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
but and like, why not do it? Buy donation parenting support group and see if anybody shows up and find out what their issues are. Like, you'd figure it out real fast, dude. It'd be great.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Cool,
Work on
cool.
that. There's some comments there if you want to go through those at all.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yep. I think Lori will.
Oh, all right. Lori is on fire. Cool. All right.
And then
Oh, look at
Brandon.
this.
Yep.
Brandon right here says, I need support. Awesome. Brandon, go to www.hardworkingdadclub.com. www.hardworkingdadclub.com. You got to put the www in there. It gets all messed up. That's still messed up, by the way, Curtis.
Yeah, I didn't find a solution yet for it.
And join Curtis's list, and he will let you know as soon as there's a support group for parents that you can
Yep.
join.
Perfect.
Lori, good morning. Says 5
Yeah,
steps.
that was the other thing you're talking about, the time management, like 5 steps to time management for busy parents or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like the idea of time management for parents. That's right. Then
Balance.
she
Yep.
says another course is on balance. Lori's also a parent, Curtis.
Yep. Nice.
And she says start somewhere. I like your guidance. Thank you, Lori. Let's see. This is a long one. We can't even see Curtis anymore. Would you like to have extra money making your own children's books to sell to the parents? It might be a good fit as I'm doing books with AI. Tellman, you are offering valuable insights.
Cool.
Great. So actually, yeah, doing different types of things for the it's interesting. Parenting related books. I mean, there was a trend for a while where like making coloring books
Yep.
was a big thing
Hmm.
and things like this. So yeah, no, there's no logo yet, Lori, because we're just brainstorming this idea right now. Um, but I bet there will be. But there will be.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I would recommend you do something local and then you get more involved in the parenting Facebook groups that are out there.
Yep.
And then once you think you've got a handle on what people are really responding to, just take that and move that into everything that you're creating
Okay. Yep.
rather than just trying to come up with something and hope people respond to it.
Okay.
The other
Yep.
thing is, dude, if you can't get people to register for a webinar about it, don't create a course about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So
a
webinars
webinar
are
is
key.
like a headline, 3 bullet points, and an opt-in, right? Um, a course is like a sales letter. It's but you still need the headline and the 3 bullet points, and the call to action. So doing a webinar, if you're going to be buying paid traffic or driving traffic some other way, doing a
Yep.
webinar on a given topic is a much better way of testing something than
Okay.
creating a course.
It's less time
Because
consumption too, right?
But this all assumes that you have a list. It all assumes you have an audience, and you're still in the early stages of audience building.
That's
But
right.
what I would suggest that your biggest thing is you need to really get clear on how you're helping people. I would be way more active in those groups. And in the meantime, really listen to Alex Hermosi's book. Start with $100 million leads. And if you're not reaching out to people and making an offer for your thing,
Yep.
every single day, a bunch for an hour, like you're not pushing hard enough.
Okay.
Like if you're not asking someone to give you money, you're not going to get any money,
Yep. For sure.
right? Like that's also true. So it's important to face more rejection faster.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Lean into the rejection.
Perfect. Yeah.
Cool, dude. Any other questions around this?
No, that was it. I think, like you said, the audience thing building is probably the most important part of it, because the other stuff will follow up because you'll figure that people say, "Hey, oh, do you have this? Oh, yeah, I can help you there, or build
Okay.
something or help them." But yeah, I never knew that the webinar was a better testing your products more so than trying to do other ways like build a course or
It's just
have
faster because you can
blueprints and
decide you're
stuff.
doing a web like you can decide you're doing a webinar next week, have a squeeze page up by the end of the day,
Yep.
and like mail your list and whatever other social channels you have. And if you
Yep.
can't get anybody to register in the next 2 or 3 days, maybe it's not the right topic.
Right.
Um,
But you can put a topic out every week on the same like sort of like the same way of webinar content. So say you do time management and say like 100 people sign up, and then obviously that's a good thing. The next week, say you did I don't know how to change diapers. It may not be as popular,
or
but
maybe way more popular. You
yeah,
never know. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So you just try those. Those are the best way to test the subjects then, and just do post. Or do you think doing boost posts, like you know how you have Facebook does
Step
the
one
boosted
is get into the Facebook groups and find the
groups?
topics. Get
Okay,
reacquainted with that, dude. You need to be in
okay,
there every single day. Be the top interactor, but it's not just by doing the actions. It's by really looking for the patterns. That's step
mm,
one. That's how you're finding your topics.
okay,
After you do that, then you're doing your own organic posts to draw people, right? Maybe you do a webinar. If that works, great. Now you can do paid posts if you already know the organic is working.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
And time management for parents is an issue. So don't give up on that too soon.
Okay.
But I would, if I were you, I would put a lot more effort into this idea of a support group for parents
Okay.
and then find out what the parents need support with. And it's your job to find a way of giving them that support.
Right on. Okay. Good.
You know,
Sounds
you,
good.
you could turn that in from a free group, you could upgrade that to a paid group, and now you have recurring revenue coming in and you
Yeah.
can build off that. You
Okay.
know? Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool, dude. Rock and
Thanks.
roll. All right, everybody. I think we're going to call it for today. If you
Yep.
want to get shit done, if you want to increase your productivity, overcome procrastination, and improve the value of your time, please join us at getshitdone.com. We will train you to get shit done.
Yep.
You will get the Get Shit Done session, one of my best selling hypnosis sessions, for free when you join at getshitdone.com. And if you're ready to take the plunge and do a private one-on-one hypnosis session with me, you can go to workwithtellman.com and sign up today and name your own price for your first session. So workwithtellman.com.
Nice.
Awesome. If you want to follow Curtis's work with parents, you can go to www.hardworkingdadclub.com. Hardworking Dad Club, www.hardworkingdadclub.com. And we'll see what happens
Yep.
next. Rock and roll. Well, enjoy the rest
Awesome.
of your weekend, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Curtis.
Thank you. Appreciate
All
it.
right, guys.